I just talked about this freewheels in particular, what can and can't be done upgrade-wise, which you can go to now because we have some wide-range freewheels. I'll link that video down in the description so you can go check it out and get caught up before we get going on today's topic, because one of the byproducts of that video started talking about freewheels, talking about gearing, climbing up the mountain, low gear, the 2 L's. Low is the least effort, and that's the largest gear, the one with the most teeth. And then you walk up that mountain and you get to the hardest gear, the 2 H's. High is hard gear, hard to pedal. That's what a lot of people don't want. They want this. I do. When I'm looking at gearing, I'm looking at what my granny gear can do first and foremost. Then I worry about this just kind of as a secondary thing. If you're having trouble climbing hills, it could be because the tooth count on the gearing that you're using in the rear. If it's a freewheel, it might be a 14 to 28 tooth. Trust me, that's a nightmare on trails. Hard to do, even though I did it for years and years. These days, it's a lot harder than it used to be. Even a 40 tooth, well, I could use this and be pretty happy with it. It's acceptable, but I prefer a 50 tooth, or at least a 46, 48 to 50 is where I'm the most comfortable. But it's not just this gearing that you have to worry about. If you're looking for easy pedaling, or even if you're looking for the highest top speed, the hardest pedaling, we need to go to the other gear that's on the bike. That's up here at the chainring. As you can see, there are teeth here too. On this particular one, I think this is a 40 tooth. And 40 teeth, when paired with this 13 to 40 tooth, is going to give me more top end than it's going to give me low end. Personally, I prefer a 30 tooth up front. Just like on this IXF crankset here, I'll link these down in the description as well. Affiliate links help support the channel without costing you anything extra, but you can see there, the 30T, that is noticeably smaller, the 30 teeth, than the larger 40 tooth beside it. You wouldn't think that just 10 teeth would make this much difference in gearing size, but it absolutely does, and it makes a major difference when you're looking at how much pedal you've got. And when I'm talking about how much pedal you've got, I'm talking about the range of pedaling for your top end, but also for that low end, most importantly for me, that low end. A 30 tooth paired even with this 40 tooth is going to be way easier to pedal than running this factory 40 tooth, which a little tougher. Well, a lot tougher actually. So if you're considering upgrading with ease of pedaling in mind, you want to not only look back here, look at the rear gearing there, but you want to look up front. 40 tooth is a lot harder than a 30 tooth, so just that simple gear change can make an absolute world of difference. Here we go. Here's another 30 tooth. I believe this one is off an Ozark trail bike. But look at that, 30 tooth versus 40 tooth, just crazy. And I know this chain guard's not helping, but look, those teeth, they're just right there, right behind that. So just look at the difference there. Isn't that amazing? That's actually not the amazing part. The amazing part is pairing this with the rear gearing. Turns it from a struggle in the case of 14 to 28 tooth, but this 13 to 40 tooth is better. But adding this to the mix, it becomes a cakewalk. And the biggest benefit is with this rear gearing, you have to start factoring in the derailleur, making sure that the derailleur supports what you're planning on using, or having to upgrade the entire thing, more cost, but just changing this is as simple as a crankset. And I know you might be thinking, no, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. You said back here that the largest gear is the easiest pedaling and the smallest is the hardest pedaling. Well, why are you telling me to go from large here to small here? Well, that's just how gearing works. Magic, really. Ratios are a weird thing. I don't care to get into the math, which I would do wrong anyway. But there's no denying the reality that the larger the tooth count back here, the easier the pedaling, and the smaller the tooth count here, the easier pedaling. But remember that trade-off. The smaller you go here, and the larger you go with these, the less top speed you have. This one needs to be as small as possible. Being a 13 tooth, and we know it because it's marked right there, that's going to have a little bit more on the top end than a 14 to 28 tooth because we're factoring out these lower gears. Looking solely at the higher, 13 tooth is going to give higher top end than a 14 tooth. Get down to like an 11 tooth, and oh wow, lots more top end. But of course, I neuter that, going with a 30 here. But this 40, like road bikers, they'll have these huge chain rings up front. Then they'll have the smallest that they can get down at the back because they want to go fast. I don't care about speed. To each their own. You can do your own gearing your own build customization, whatever works for you. But for most mountain bikers, we usually favor something that allows us to climb up the biggest hills with the least effort. And we'll trade that off for a little bit of top speed just about every time. I know I do, but that's how the gearing works. I thought I'd make a quick video talking about the front gear versus these back gears, because it's different. It's way different. It's the exact opposite. It doesn't make sense, but that's the way it works. And now you know. Comment below if this video has helped you out. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.